Hello, this is Sir Handel, and you're listening to the Railway Series Book Club. I've no doubt you'll enjoy this one, because I'm in it.
So, like, a while back, because I am poisoned, I picked up a Thomas Wood Rusty.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like Rusty, and I think that there are good things about it.
Yeah.
Good thing number one, it's rusty.
Yes. Good thing number two, it has, like, a molded plastic piece for, like, the front radiator piece instead of just a block of wood. And, like, usually that wouldn't be great on Wooden Railway, because you want Wooden Railway to be as much wood as possible, you'd think, based on how people talk about it. But, like...
Yeah, I would want it to be real wood for hard play.
Yes. But I think in the case of Rusty, it helps to add all the little, like, detailed nuances. Like, you can have the little radiator cap molded into it, and it has, like, the little slopey bits at the bottom. You know, it's a bit thicker than I'd like, but, you know, I think on the whole this was a good idea. It's just a shame that it's unpainted wood, and that they never released a hypothetical good version of this toy.
So it's just doomed to suck?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the better woods. It's just, you know, also one of the ones they didn't bother painting. And that
I live in sadness that we never saw Frankie.
Yeah, fucking Wood Frankie would have been, like, the best thing to come out of that range if they'd, like, made her at all. Let alone painted her.
It would have.
Alright, Andrew, you're fired. Luke, you're the third host.
Yeah.
You'll be coming back. You always come back.
You always come.
Should we do our introduction?
Yes, I'm Jamie, the Queen of Sodor, pronouns she, her.
Yeah, we didn't even welcome everyone.
Oh yeah, we didn't even welcome everyone. Welcome to the Railway Series Book Club, the podcast where we talk about books, about trains.
About book trains.
Yeah.
Book trains.
Train books.
Anyway, I already introduced
books.
myself. Somebody fucking go.
I'm Vivian. I'm a ghost. She, her. Today, I almost deleted a save file that had a shiny Roselia on it until I remembered that's where my shiny Roselia was, so I didn't do that. It was a near miss.
That's risky.
Just like that
That's
one
awful risky.
Christopher Audrey annual story.
Yeah. My favorite Chris Audrey story. Awful risky. I'm Andrew Von Chairlord, they, them, and today, I can't disclose what I did today.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Luke. I do the railway things. My pronouns are he, him. And I like trains.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Messed up.
We don't approve of your kind.
I feel like we do I feel like we do some variant of this bit every week now.
God, we do, don't we?
I don't mind it though.
We need to fucking diversify.
If you're tired of us doing the same bit, be sure to tell us by joining the Railway Series Book Club official Discord server and telling us we suck.
Yeah.
And if you tell us exactly that, we'll be sure to keep doing the exact same bit over and over again.
Specifically to piss you off.
Yes.
Every day until you like it.
Until you die.
Stale bits will continue until morale improves. Anyway.
That's what our propaganda poster says.
Yeah. Today we're taking a look at the final story in the Little Old Engine, which is Little Old Twins.
Yippee!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the first story that didn't make it into the TV series where, as far as we know, I don't know, if Luke knows something we don't, then that makes it different, but as far as we know, this is, like, never even considered for adaptation.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't know.
Yeah, okay then. So yeah, as far as we know, they never once considered this for TV. Because, like, Mrs. Kindly's Christmas got kind of sort of adapted through Thomas's Christmas Party. And then Gordon Goes Foreign was at least intended to happen. And every other story they skipped, they went back to later. But this is the first time in the Railway series chronology where they're just like, nope. Nah. We're good. It is also the longest story in the Railway series, tied with A Close Shave for page count, but this has a higher word count. So that's neat.
Whoa.
One day, the owner brought some people to see the railway. He showed them everything. They travelled in the trains and looked at stations and bridges and coaches. Yes, they would say thoughtfully, we'll take this. Or, no, we won't take that. They made notes in their books. Peter Sam whispered to Sir Handel, men came and did that on our old line. And then, said Sir Handel, soon afterwards it was sold, finished Peter Sam mournfully. Yay, PTSD!
Yay!
Definitely not just the Chorus Railway.
I love it when the trains are traumatized.
Yay! I love when
I
the
actually
trains
did.
are sad.
I actually did rewatch Midsummer Mysteries like 20 minutes before I jumped in cool.
I'm so sorry.
No, I love it. It's really good.
Yeah. To paraphrase something you say in that video, this is like the first bit of insight we get into the past of Peter, Sam, and Sir Handel. Except at this point, it probably isn't, like, terribly built out as anything more than definitely not just the Chorus Railway.
See above.
Yeah. It's pretty much what I say. Yeah, this is the first kind of from definitely not the chorus, or Sodor's equivalent to the chorus, whatever that may be at this point. But it's definitely in Audrey's mind that they have come from somewhere else like that.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
Presumably also Cora.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. Yeah, technically this is the second insight, really, isn't it? Because
yes, of course, because Peter Sam mentions about the bogey coaches on his old line, and technically that's in Four Little Engines. I'm used to bogey coaches,
Oh.
Yeah, but this is the first time that they're directly acknowledging that, oh yeah, our railway got sold and that is why we are here.
The old railway, it was sold.
My dad stuck in a hole. What?
Our father left to go get milk and never came back.
Well, technically, Peter Sam, we left to get milk and left Dad at home. Oh.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
I hope he has some milk. He'll be quite sad without his tea. I think you're getting lost in the metaphor, Peter Sam.
I'm totally going to prank Stuart and Falcon when they get home.
Oh no!
I don't have much to say about this page other than that, but like
No, it's pretty simple.
I do wonder what it is these people are seeing that they're like, no, we're not gonna take that for our thing that we're gonna learn about next page.
Agnes.
Agnes specifically. They don't
Yeah.
want anything to do with her.
Smells too much like cheese.
This one smells like shit.
But
How
surely you're talking about Beatrice.
No, specifically you. You are fucking vile.
Ugh.
I'll show you, vile.
Oh, I love Agnes.
Agnes is so fucking good.
I wish we got some Agnes action in this book, to be honest.
It is a shame, kind of outside of Four Little Engines and Very Old Engines, you don't really get much of them. Because they're great.
Yeah.
Honestly, Agnes in very old engines is the best showing any coach has in the entire series.
Yeah.
Be on your guard, be on your guard. Our guard's just come.
I also do like this illustration.
Now this is quarry siding.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
quarry siding, and
Okay, that makes
it's-
sense, because there's big rock.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that Sir Handel and Peter Sam are like going somewhere, but neither of them seem to be pulling anything.
What are they
No,
doing?
I think there is just about a van. There seems to be the shape of like a coach or a van just behind Peter Sam.
Is there?
Yeah, and one thing I love is the fireman on Sir Handel is holding out, presumably the staff to pass on to Peter Sam. So Peter Sam's on the move, on the down,
Okay.
probably quite slowly. And yeah, the fireman's about to pass it to Peter Sam's fireman.
I love the implication that this is another conversation that's happening where one of the engines is just moving past the other one.
Yeah.
In this scenario, they would be going fairly slow, So Handel will be stopped. Peter Sam will be getting ready to get the not the token, the staff.
Yeah.
But yes, also, I a lot of these conversations probably do happen kind of it's like fucking fucking telepathic.
Yeah. Engine to engine
Contact.
communication.
Yeah,
Engine to engine.
thank you. I'm glad that you got what I was putting down.
No, contact.
Contact.
I think that's all I have for this page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can
And if I'm being really nerdy, you can tell that Sir Handel and Peter Sam are stood still and moving respectively by what's coming out of their chimneys.
Yeah.
You know,
I was
that
gonna
is
point this
fair.
out as
Peter
well.
Sam is working. Peter Sam is working. There's more steam coming out, whereas Sir Handel is sat there idly, with no drawer on the fire, so the steam is hanging lower.
That
Yeah.
I do the coal fire, haha. No.
Yeah, like even just like looking at the steam, there's very clearly different action coming out of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
these things are not lost on the artist's eyes. Oh.
It's a good illustration.
I love it. I love the next one even more. So
Oh, yeah.
Me too. Let's get right to it.
Peter Sam didn't sing anymore. He wanted to cry. The other engines were sad too. "What's the matter with you all?" his driver asked him one day. "You look like dying ducks." "We don't want to be sold," said Peter Sam miserably. "Sold?" The driver was surprised. "Who to?" "To those people who came and talked about taking things." "You silly little engine," laughed his driver. "They're not going to buy us. They're going to take our pictures on television." And he tried to explain what that meant.
Taking pictures on television is such a delightfully old-timey way of saying that.
Yeah,
And I
Yeah.
love it.
but it's it's fun.
Yeah.
It's like how they talk about it in Tit for Tat in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
CGI episode.
One
They're
right-
going to show me off in moving pictures on the television.
I do love just. I mean, we'll get more into it on the next page. I do just love how little the engines understand like television at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's the whole thing of and certain human concepts just are completely alien to engines, such as clothes.
Yeah.
And they go like, "Oh, it's like a coat of paint."
But not really.
It's I've been reminded of I don't know if you use Tumblr at all, Luke, but
Not particularly. Occasionally, but I am very aware.
yeah, very
Very
very big
online.
fan of me and Scarlet Deceiver's posts over on Tumblr, and they had a post about how the engines are really bad at figuring out discernible features of humans, so they mostly just. That's the reason that he's the fat controller, is because he's the fat one that wears the top hat, and they know how to tell him apart because of that. And it was like about about how basically a lot of the less observant engines haven't realized there's been multiple fat controllers, because as far as they're aware, it's just a fat guy in a top hat.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they notice.
Same guy.
That's really good.
Same guy.
I really cannot recommend Mean Scarlet Deceiver's stuff on AO3 and Tumblr enough. Fantastic stuff.
Absolutely.
Love Copper Knob.
Also very good phrasing on this page. Dying ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah, love
Never
that.
heard that before.
Like, is that a thing people actually say?
I've never heard it.
I can't...
I think I have. But it's definitely a more old phrase.
Yeah. Speaking of looking like dying ducks, this is a truly miserable Peter Sam on this illustration.
He's very sad, isn't he?
This is kind of also just like a top contender for like between this and the one from Trucks, like top contender for best picture Peter Sam in this book.
Yeah, this is
be honest.
really well drawn.
Like he's got all the plumbing, all the little bits.
It's so good. It's interesting to see like quite a sad, like very sad Peter Sam, because usually he's so chipper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he really does hammer home just kind of like just the nature of being an engine of that. He's like, oh, you can be just uprooted and sold like that.
Yep.
And there must be some anxiety that comes with that. But
Yeah.
it's interesting.
It is.
It's not fun to see, but it is interesting to see a different, like a very somber Peter Sam.
Yeah.
Peter Sam deserves to be happy all the time, every day.
Yes.
It's another thing. Peter Sam is one of the only engines that my mum has mentioned to me unprompted since I was a kid. So that makes me happy that out of everybody, he's the one she remembered.
Yeah.
Peter, Sam, Trevor, and Lady are the ones that she seems to really like.
That's a good set of
It's really cute.
characters.
My family kind of tend to, at least my mom, kind of tend to misremember Sir Handel's rhyme from Special Funnel. It's like whenever I bring up Peter Sam, my mom will just go, Peter Sam, Peter Sam. It's cute.
I'm Peter Sam, I'm drinking wine.
Yo,
Oh no, don't Peter
crack
Sam,
that
you can't
shit open.
Peter Sam, you can't drink and drive train. No.
Alright, he's 100, let him live a little.
I love that. I love that he's 100 because mentally he's like 7.
Yeah. He's just chilling.
Yeah.
I think Peter Sam is one of the most photogenic engines.
Yes.
That's just true
absolutely.
of Edward Thomas as well.
Oh, Edward Thomas
Yeah.
is a delightful engine.
Yeah, like the photo charter pictures from when she was in Red for like Audrey X was really like all the photos that came out of that when y'all like put the like blue masking tape on her for lighting. That was really, really good. Just really good pictures of her like that.
I'll drop a couple of photos in which you can flash up on the screen. These we had photo charters about 2 weeks ago, and Edward Thomas was turned around, face downhill, and it's just a stunning little engine.
Oh yeah, that's why
beautiful.
Get Rotated Idiot happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a Get Rotated Idiot,
Yeah!
which I think is my finest work.
God.
Absolutely.
The TR engines all look so nice with both goods and mixed trains.
Yeah.
They're all photogenic little guys.
Yeah, it's they all look
I'm
lovely
just
with the
bombarding you
coaches.
with all the number 4 pictures.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Be
Never apologize
feel
for this.
Absolutely
apologize.
free.
God,
Never
they look
apologize.
so good. Oh. These are wonderful photographs. And, like, Edward Thomas, honestly, I think I really, really do like the gray on her. Like,
It's grown on me so much.
it's kind of a unique look, because there aren't, like how many other, like, locomotives are running right now that are in gray? Let alone ones that wear it this well.
Yeah.
She looks really
See,
good.
I think number 4 just wears any livery well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's just the perks of being that photogenic of an engine.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe this beyond just, like, I think seeing the steam engines from the TR with wagons is really nice, because you don't see it very often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, just any of the pictures of them with, like, a couple of slate trucks or, like, a van, very, very nice.
Yeah. Such a lovely railway. I wonder if this book will do any kind of cross-sell for it.
I wonder.
By the way, everybody listening, again, donate to the 75 appeal for the TR.
Yeah, donate to
donate
that.
to the 75 appeal.
Donate to the 75 appeal, and if you do, I won't do anything, but I'll still be thankful.
Yeah. But more importantly, the railway will be thankful.
I will do a little jig.
Yeah. She won't
I'll
show
do a
you the
really
little
tall
jig,
jump.
but she will do it.
No, the little jig is for personal friends and family only.
Oh, exactly.
But I'll do it, and I'll do it because you donate to the 75 appeal.
Yeah.
You will receive a note
Yeah.
saying that she's done it.
Yes.
Dab.
And you'll just have to trust.
Not going to be sold, not going to be sold, sang Peter Sam. He could hardly wait to tell the others. He told them about the television as well, and they were pleased and excited too. All except Sir Handel. I don't hold with it, he grumbled. Vulgar, I call it. Fancy traipsing about making an exhibition of yourselves. I won't do it, I tell you. Tell you something in tea. Just let the thing controller come here. I'll tell him something. Scarlowy said nothing. He just winked at Peter Sam. Like this. I'm winking very hard, but also just look at page right. So going back to what we were talking last episode about the relationship between the text on the left and the image on the right, this is prime example.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what came over Audrey to go like this, because it never happens again.
No, it happens. It happens other times too. I'm pretty sure. Like it's happened before, right?
I think.
I swear. I don't remember what episode it was, but I swear there was another episode where we've done it, and it's been like this. Wink. And I just don't remember. It's been so fucking long since we recorded anything.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Somebody
dig up the citation.
Yeah, somebody dig up the citation. Get the freaking what is it? Wow, my brain just short-circuited completely there. My shit is not alive. Somebody in the Discord server is probably gonna like say, "Oh, it was this story on this page." So
Yes.
it's
Thank you.
fine.
Thank you, hypothetical future person. Please do that.
Do that, and then I'll do a little jig.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be the same kind of jig
make the
that
Andrew
Jamie
dance.
does, because I don't want to encroach on her territory. I'll do a better jig. It's going to be a really short jig. I'll do a longer jig if you donate to the 75 appeal. Donate to the 75 appeal. Anyway, you were starting to say, Luke?
Oh, no, I was just saying, make Andrew do a little jig.
Yeah.
It'd be very funny if they do a little jig.
A little jig.
Oh,
Well, this is gay. Yeah.
I really like the crew just like dipping off the edge of wharf.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
good. You know, standing in the middle of the Northwestern's right of way. Well,
thankfully, it's
a
just a
little bit of
siding.
foul forefoot. Yeah, it's just the siding. It's fine.
Yeah.
I want to talk about how well Willie Rushton does the telly something.
Yes. God, Sir Handel is delightful in this story. That's probably like the biggest thing we missed out. Is we missed out on all the fucking gold that happens here.
Yeah, he's just so goddamn funny.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He's a pathetic manlet, and that's why we love him.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
He has a knighthood.
Yeah.
You know.
If you squint.
Oh, the pages are falling out of my copy of Little Old Engine.
Aww.
It's
Very
a
well
first
loved.
edition. It's very old.
Aww. I'm very, very happy that I got some first
You should
editions
send
recently.
it to the works to be mended.
Got some first editions and a signed copy of Gallant Old Engine for Christmas.
Oh, very nice. By Wilbur, or
Let me check to be sure, but I believe Wilbert, yes. Here it is. Let's see. Yeah, W. Audrey. And I'll get a picture of it, because out of anybody, you'd be able to confirm if it's authentic or
I'll
not, Luke.
confirm the signature. I can indeed confirm the authenticity of that signature.
Woohoo!
Hell yeah.
It being in Gallant Old Engine specifically is fantastic, actually, because this is one of my favorites.
I'm quite jealous of that.
I also have a copy of Reading Between the Lines, signed by Chris,
Yeah,
which
Very nice.
was
I do as well.
was dedicated, but it was dedicated to a name that I don't use anymore, which is a bit awkward.
Oh no!
Oh, I see.
Oh
Just
boy.
go in with the whiteout and change it. I'm sure that'll retain the value.
So, back to what I was saying about the engines not understanding most human concepts.
Tell you something.
Yeah, Telly something is like up there with like all of the puns in fucking Stepney's special as like
Yeah.
some of Wilbert's best jokes.
It's real.
Because they're the ones that never fucking twigged with me until super recently.
I don't even remember there being puns in Stepney's special.
Exactly. But just so you're aware, Bluebell and Primrose are as alike as two peas.
Oh, that's true. I remember that one. That's a good one.
That's gonna be a good book.
And it was Cromfield. Never forget Cromfield.
I'm so happy that I get to be the one to read the Stepney book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else about this page that I appreciate is, Sir Han will be like, "Oh, I'll tell the Finnick controller something. I'll tell him." And then,
Yeah.
when we get to the next
I'll
page,
tell him something.
and it's just,
These three have such a fun dynamic.
They do.
Yeah.
The saddle tanks are all a lot of fun to have in the same place on the Skarloey.
And looking at the photograph of them, I can identify each of them fine. Despite them all
Yeah?
being the same colour, I don't believe people who say they can't tell them apart. You're just wrong. I'm not
there's a
mad.
number.
I'm not sad. The cabs are all different. It's in the cabs.
One of them
Sorry.
is numbered 4, and the other one is numbered 1, and the third one is numbered 3.
Sorry, it's
I mean,
too
I guess the
confusing.
3 isn't
Jamie!
all that legible from this distance,
Jamie!
but, like...
You finally learned your numbers!
Yay!
Just in the wrong order.
Well, yeah, but she knows them now. That's progress.
Practicing your numbers, Jamie. That's a good engine.
I'm counting how many seconds late you are. What does that sign say?
Fuck you! Bit rude to have a sign say that, but alright. I had a story I did kind of recently where like Percy overhears some kids talking about TikTok and like he thinks it has something to do with clocks. It's probably a little bit of like a I don't know, some hit era type shit where he just tries to like speed run all of the shit that he does to try and get like a new record on it. To be really good at the TikTok.
Percy, what are you doing? I'm speedrunning.
Why?
Actually, talking of that, there's a story idea that came to me in a dream once that was literally called sequence breaking. And it was James like coming in interrupting part of the Farquhar operation sequence.
That'd be really funny.
Yeah, what I wrote for that is, now people from all over the world can see the Fat Controller's engines in ways they couldn't before. They don't quite understand how people have managed to make picture boxes even smaller than television, which in fairness they didn't quite get either, but I digress. The engines love this new wave of attention.
They're so silly.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else to say
Engines
about
are
the
just little blobbo creatures.
True.
Yeah. They're like bugs.
They are like bugs, but especially electric engines, because they're like worms.
Yes.
Scarloey, one of the passengers says I'm a scrimblo bimblo. What does that mean? What?
I am upset that you expect me to understand any of that.
Well, it's just those scrimlo bimlo, something like that. Well, that would never suit his grace.
That was probably meant to be Sir Handel, but it sounded a bit more like Duke to me. So I've gone the Duke route.
I mean, no, this is the thing. I feel like if I was going to do Duke, it would probably also just be my Sir Handel voice, just a bit less snobbish.
I think the touchstone for me for like getting into a Duke voice is just
Young idiot!
Stupid fuck!
which is, you know, of course, the best line from Bulldog.
Yeah.
So they had to fucking cut it from the show.
Right.
Yeah.
But next day, when the Thing Controller did come to explain about television, Sir Handel kept strangely quiet. Now, said the Thing Controller at last, I want every engine to take part. I don't feel well, quavered Sir Handel. You poor engine, said the Thing Controller gravely. You can stay in the shed. Sir Handel smiled broadly. And your driver and fireman shall take you to pieces. That will make a very interesting picture, just what we need. Sir Handel's feelings were beyond words. The Thing Controller does not fuck around.
He really
No,
doesn't.
he doesn't.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know what the fuck Sir Handel is expecting playing the fake illness card again. Again. We already have been over this. Is he stupid? Yes.
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 Also, very much love, as I was alluding to last page. Sir Handel talks a big game, but suddenly clams up when he actually is
Confronted with authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir Handel's such a poser. Like,
Yeah, it's beautiful, really.
it is. If it were Duncan would probably make a stink about it in front of the Thing Controller. But Sir Handel, no. He's too fucking, he's fakey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he talks big, but never really acts on that.
Yeah. Yeah,
All bark, no bite.
in the past, I've seen some people take issue with the whole taking to pieces thing because it sounds harsh, but it's just showing off what the maintenance is. That's just a normal thing for engines.
Yeah, they're engines.
Yeah. I think people need to understand better that engines aren't people.
Yeah.
They are machines. You take machines apart to mend them
Yes.
when they don't feel well.
Sometimes machines have to be in multiple pieces in order to help them feel healthy. This is normal and good, and you should accept that this happens to our engine.
However, in this regard, it is spiteful. The Thing Controller is
Yes.
just going, no.
It is
absolutely
100%
is.
spiteful.
No, to bits with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, alright, yeah. Sure, yeah, to bits. Fuck you. Alright. Big fan of Dunk.
Oh yeah, Dunk in the bottom right. He's just Dunk. Dunkachino.
Dunk.
It's not out anymore. It's Dunk.
Duncan.
I quite love
Dunkachino.
Scarloey's face in this illustration.
He knew this was coming.
Yes.
Yep. Sir Handel's face is even better because that's you can tell that's his immediate reaction to the thing controller. Like, okay, yep.
God, this book has such good faces.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I say that a lot of things are beautiful, but like that, I just have a lot of love in my heart and appreciation for beauty in this world.
Yeah.
God
And
bless.
you have that love in your heart because you are a lovely person in general.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay,
No,
fine.
it's true. It's true. Everything she said is true.
All right. Anyway,
That's that, said the Fin Controller. Now, Scarlowy, will you take Agnes, Ruth, Lucy, Jemima, and Beatrice? Yes, please, sir. I was hoping you would let me have them. Duncan shall have a goods train, while Rusty, with Mr. Hugh and the men, can show how we mend the line. Please, sir, what about me, sir? Asked Peter Sam anxiously. The Fin Controller smiled. You, Peter Sam, shall pull the special television train. Oh, sir, bubbled Peter Sam in ecstasy.
I like that all the engines are getting to have their own little, special roles to play in this presentation. It's really cute.
Apart from Sir Handel.
Apart from Sir Handel. Well, his role is going to be disembodied.
To bits with you.
You know.
It's my new favourite thing now.
Yeah.
into bits with you.
To bits with you.
Yoo-hoo, waiter, die. Simamas.
I do love how bulbous Peter Sam looks in this illustration. The smoke box is huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, his smoke box is huge. You got so excited his smoke box grew in size.
Like the
I'm
Grinch.
quite partial to how, strangely gangly they have made Duncan look. He has a very long neck.
That is just Duncan.
Is this the first time we see Duncan smile?
Oh, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no. He smiles in Rock and Roll
Oh, right.
when
Okay.
James tells him that he's the coolest ever.
Right. Okay. I forgot.
He's one of the top racists.
You have to be a red-pilled like me.
Oh,
Well, I'm red.
Listen to my Manosphere
Wait.
podcast. I also quite enjoy Peter Sam's television train. It's one of those things I'm sad we don't get to see more of in Thomas. And it's it's understandable, because it's not terribly often you get to pull it, and it was never on TV. But, it's one of the few, special trains that the narrow gauge engines have, That's his special thing,
That's
is he
true,
pulls the
actually.
television train.
Yeah.
oh, it's fun. And I mean, when the real broadcast happened, it was Edward Thomas on the front.
Yeah.
And they took out one of the back windows in the cab so that the fireman could lean back and talk to the presenter from the cab and have the hand in the window.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Ooh.
Right, this is based on a real thing that happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the Beeb went to do a documentary on the Talyllyn.
It wasn't even a documentary. It was a live broadcast. It was a big thing. I think it was one of the first external, outdoors live broadcasts the BBC had done. It was a pretty big thing for it to not be in the studio and to be live.
Yeah.
In such a rural area.
Yeah.
And it did no end of good for the railway.
Yeah.
Do we have any of that footage?
It does exist. The broadcast does still exist. I don't have a copy personally, but I know that in the I know a member has a copy of it. But I don't know if it's actually. I don't think it's available online anywhere at the minute. But a little segment from it's in the Golden Age of Steam documentary. If you ever find that. There's some clips from that, but it's very interesting. But it's basically exactly as it's described in here. Edward Thomas pulls the TV train and they're interviewed. Duncan has a goods train at Quarry Siding. Midlander's out doing things. It's quite fun.
Yeah.
Though the only difference, I think, is when it happened on the TR number 1 was still away. Whereas here it's obviously set after. But Wilbert was the guard of the real one,
Aw.
which is why he wrote about it.
So
And also, it's a fun thing.
That makes sense.
I do have a question actually about that, because it's obviously in real life it took number one quite a while to get back into not a pile of shit condition, and then like
Actually,
in-
number one
in
was
the-
at the railway. Sorry, it just wasn't working.
yeah, okay, and it's like I'm thinking like with that, and then obviously in the books Rheneas is gone for a long time. It was that like a well, I already brought Skarloey back, but I need one of them to be gone.
No, it reflects real life. Again, Dolgoch went away on the lorry that Douglas arrived on. And that was 1954. Douglas was bought and sorted in 1953, but arrived on the railway in 54. Douglas arrived, and then the same lorry took Dolgoch away. And Dolgoch was away from the railway, I think, for 9 years being rebuilt. So quite that lines up to how long Rheneas is away as well. It's pretty much nearly the same. And Skarloey and Talyllyn go away in 1957 and come back in 1958.
Okay.
That was a quick one. Whereas Dolgoch ended up being passed around a few places. Rheneas wasn't very far away, I don't think. I think they were literally at Grosvenor Gate.
That's really funny, actually.
It was just in the back of the works.
Rheneas has just been sitting for years in Grosvenor Gate.
Not very far
I
away
just
at all.
love the idea that Skarloey's just like, oh, I hope he comes home soon. I miss him terribly. And then he's just like 50 meters away.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
I'm over here.
No, wasn't. No, that I've ruined it for myself because I've just checked Island of Soda. No, Rheneas went to England for heavy overhaul,
Oh.
and repairs could not be completed till 1961. So yeah, Rheneas was away for like 9-10 years, same as Dolgoch.
Hey, I've just noticed Duncan has a sandbox in this picture, just below his steam pipe.
It's where he builds
Yes.
sandcastles.
Doesn't he?
Oh no! Why's that there?
I don't know.
That shouldn't be there.
What happened here? Did Kenny like start drawing Skarloey there or something, and then like
Probably, and then went, oh fuck, wrong
Good
place.
chance. Yeah.
That's so that I've never noticed that.
but then the sandbox would be on the wrong side for that because Skarloey still only has one sandbox.
Yeah. It's probably just one of those
Oh.
slight misremembering things.
Yeah.
It's fine. Fuck.
And
what
Russ is
was-
there just being small.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to the broadcast real quick, wasn't Sir Hayden like actually out of service at the time as well?
No.
Oh,
No, I'm pretty sure Sir Hayden was, but I don't know if it was featured in the broadcast,
okay.
which is where that might come from.
Sir Hayden had too much swag to be in to want to show up on camera.
My autistic T-girl swag, Skarloey. What?
What?
I've heard
Pirate.
passengers talking about it. Apparently it's very good. And then Rusty's just, Sir Handel, you really... Okay.
I think it would do everybody a lot of good if we looked up what things mean before we say them. just so everybody, just so that I can sleep better, mostly.
Oh, Grandpuff, I heard passengers talking about how estrogen would save people. Do you think it would have saved number 2?
Nothing would have saved number 2, Peter Sam.
The television men built towers for cameras beside the line. They put cameras on Ada too, and filled Gertrude with wires and instruments. Some trucks, a couple behind, carried aerials and generators. Everyone practiced hard till they knew just what they had to do. At last the time came, and the announcer gave the signal. "We're on the air! We're on the air!" puffed Peter Sam, and he rolled the heavy train to the shops, where Sir Handel was being mended. Sir Handel did not enjoy the visit. I do like, actually, between learning about what television is and the train, Peter Sam now understands the concept and the lingo to say we're on the air.
Yes. He's so clever.
Yeah.
He's a clever boy.
Yeah, look
to
at how
school.
excited he is.
He's very perceptive.
Look how
Yeah.
tired Henry is.
Yeah, Henry is just fucking over it, staring over this crowd of people.
What the fuck is even the point? Wait, do you think this is a joke? Because this is like, this would have been after the Free Railway Engines TV, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's a joke? Because the
Oh
Henry
my
hates
God.
TV.
That
Oh
would
my
be amazing
God.
if that was intentional.
Who knows?
That never occurred to me. After all these years,
Can I
that's
just say as well, like, just reading the things where he's saying, like, you know, they had cameras on that and they filmed Gertrude with wires and instruments. And it's just like, and then there's the trucks behind. It's like, that is exactly the formation that the TV train had.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like actually, it was like all the opens, and then they had Coach 9, and then some flat wagons behind with the generators on. Like, it is spot on, and I find that very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the pedantry of Audrey.
I love Ada, Jane, and
he was
Mabel
there.
with just Ada. I'm assuming that's Ada at the front.
I imagine so, given you said Ada, put cameras on Ada too, yeah.
Oh yeah, you know, like just the plank on top of her, with the guy standing with the cameras. I think. I gotta wonder how stable that is. Like, I assume that's what they did in the real world, but like, it also
Yeah.
seems like if the, you know, I mean, I was about to say if the track gets bumpy, then, like, you know, that might be dangerous. But Rusty's working here, so that's very
Yeah, the line
unlikely.
wouldn't get bumped.
Hang on.
Yeah, why
Look
would
at-
it get bumped?
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
It's the same cameras.
Yeah. Yeah, like you can tell by the big long lenses.
Yeah. This is a very nice illustration. Everybody's so excited, you know.
Yeah.
I like the crowd gathering around.
Everybody's very excited except Henry.
Yes. Because he knows what the Beeb did to him.
I'm so fucking sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm considering that to be the canon reason that Henry's there.
You know what? Yeah. Fuck it.
Also, you know,
I mean, there he is.
LMAO Bozo at Sir Handel.
Rip, pack watch.
It's really fun to see, after being introduced, finally, the open coaches are all in a train together.
Yeah. Ada,
Oh,
Jane,
yeah.
Mabel Sweep.
Yeah. I've seen people pair the open coaches with Cora a fair bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think that's cute.
It is.
So it's like, you know, if you do it that way, there's 3 complete sets, because you've got the vintage train, the opens, and the bogies.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
"We're on the air! We're on the air!" chanted Peter Sam. He trundled over the bridge near the middle station. "Peep, peep," he whistled to Duncan. "We're coming!" The announcer talked to Duncan, and then they puffed over the second bridge to Quarry Siding, where Rusty, Mr. Hugh, and the men were waiting to explain about their work. Soon they had to go. Peter Sam whistled, Rusty tooted in reply, and they clattered through the tunnel, rumbled over the viaduct near the waterfall, and rolled at last into the top station.
Very pretty illustration.
Very pretty illustration,
It's a real good
but there's a glaring error in the text here.
There is, yeah.
They go to Quarry Siding before they cross the viaduct near the waterfall.
Oh.
Quarry Siding's after Ennius.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Even the Reverend isn't fallible. Or is fallible. Which way is that round?
Even the Reverend is fallible.
There you go, that's what I meant.
Even Speedwagon is afraid.
Yeah, no, genuinely, it's just a genuine mistake, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he have any? Did anyone ever write to him about that?
I think I don't know actually. I think it may be something he never quite picked up on.
Damn.
Huh. Damn.
I really love Duncan and Rusty's little segments where they get to like talk to them about what they're doing. I gotta imagine
Yeah.
those would be really fun to listen to. Like, I want what does Duncan have to say to the announcer?
Oh, I'm Duncan. Wait, actually, where's that? Where's that? Hold on. I'm just gonna link a video in chat.
Oh, I love this one.
It's just a video thing. Those who can't see, it's the video of the guy just swallowing a mic twice.
Oh,
That's pretty
Tell them
good.
something your mom doesn't know.
yeah, that
Oh.
unhinged Duncan.
I imagine Rusty's is much more constructive.
Yeah, so there's a cool bit. The pictures I've been sending of the TV train is from some behind the scenes footage that a volunteer took. And like as they approach quarry siding, number 6 is kind of like reversing that train of wagons up. So this is like when they go and talk to them.
Ah.
Interesting.
This was on the rehearsal. They rehearsed it so much, which doesn't seem to be the case in the Scarlowy version, but they probably did it.
Yeah.
And just not in the story because it wouldn't make a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. I think I was gonna save this for the end, but I feel like there is a degree to which I feel like the story, despite already being so long, could have been fleshed out a bit better. You know, potentially in like a rewrite such as the one our friend Don did, Don DD and D6, where it kind of becomes about everybody like practicing to play their part. 'Cause I think. At least the way he wrote it, I think it's fun and adds a bit more to the story to like, you know, kind of flesh out. Oh, they're putting on a performance, so you have to do all the things that have to do with putting on a performance. That, you know, that can be
Climb
stressful.
the tree from Act 3.
There's a rare photo of Audrey getting into the guard's cupboard, as he puts it. Oh, this is fun. Sorry, I'm just looking at this video, and apparently, like, the next day after the main broadcast, there was a special broadcast as well for children. So probably on the children's BBC side of things, where Sir Hayden indeed does take part.
Oh, shit.
Cool.
Because it looks like Douglas and Edward Thomas double head the TV train into Dole Rock, and then Sir Hayden just rocks up.
Hello.
Look, he's just there.
Hello.
The owner climbed down. "We arranged for television," he said, "to let everyone see our little old engine. We are proud of him. 95 years old and good as new. There's nothing like him anywhere. 3 cheers for Scarlowy." "Beep, beep, beep," whistled Peter Sam, and everybody joined in. Scarlowy smiled. "I'm very glad to be home again. Thank you, sir, and all, for your nice surprise. Now, I'll surprise you. Listen, when I was mending in England, I found my twin." The owner stirred. "Is there really another engine like you?"
What? Is
Holy
there
What?
really another
Yo!
just like Scarlowy? In
No fucking
perhaps in a
way!
place like Tywin, Wales?
Never heard of him.
This
Yeah, that place
Where the
sounds
fuck
stupid
is
and gay.
Wales?
This sounds fake.
It sounds fake.
Who the fuck is Dave?
Who the fuck is Dave Percy? Anyway, So I noticed something actually that there's in this picture that there's a guy behind the man holding the microphone next to Skarloey that he's got like a sort of maroon jumper on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in rock and roll.
Huh.
He's in the picture in rock and roll where Duncan derails.
He's a local.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, so he is.
I literally just noticed that just now.
Is Undercut
can,
Lady somewhere in here too?
Possibly. That could be her on the right.
You can also see him levering Duncan back on as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait, can you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that him?
I think that's him.
There's a guy with like a brown jacket on that I'm seeing.
Unrelated, but this is a pretty good illustration. This is a very nice Scarloppy, but and I appreciate the bravery John T. Kenny had in attempting this foreshortening on Peter Sam. He does, however, I think
That's
he
Duncan.
looks extremely compressed with the way he's been drawn like this.
It just looks like Duncan, to be honest.
A little bit.
Yeah, no, it is very interesting, and Luke brought this up in oh god, I don't remember which episode it was anymore. One of the earlier stories in this book that this is the only time where Kenny illustrates Skarloey to actually look like how he would have after coming back from his overhaul.
Yeah, with the weird lamp irons and the two sandboxes and the full
And
running
the
board.
full running board. Yep.
Just a bit odd.
Yeah.
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 I think we need to go read the last page now, because I don't think there's much to say about this
Yeah.
page.
No,
Yeah, not
it all really
particularly.
hinges on the last page, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's another one of those, like, this is, we
We're
had to
getting there.
we had to split one scene across 2 pages.
Yeah. Yes, sir, chuckled Skarloey. There is. Another engine came to be mended too, called Talyllyn. When the workmen saw us together, they laughed and called us the little old twins. Talyllyn told me about his railway. It is a lovely one at Tywyn in Wales. Well, sir, they mended us both and sent us home. But I often think of Talyllyn. He's 95 years old too, just like me. Please go to see him, all of you, and wish him dry rails and good running from Skarloey, his little old twin. We are indebted to John Adams Publicity Limited for help in the preparation of the picture opposite, which I can show
Yes.
the actual photograph from a TL postcard used in the
Wowie.
1960s.
Mm.
Ooh.
Oh, hey.
That's the exact
Yeah.
photograph they used.
They got it pretty dang close.
Yeah, like this is a very handsome drawing of Talyllyn, and this is also a very nice picture.
Yeah.
Also, no face.
Yeah, no face.
Because the picture in the book is from our world, not the world of the Railway series, and that's what I'll stick to.
Yeah, because Audrey didn't want children to be upset when they go to the railway and don't
Yeah.
see a face on that train.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a newspaper interview with him where I think they talk about it. I think it's as the Stepney book was coming out.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much his exact reasoning. He's saying, like, we don't want to put faces on them because then the children will go and they'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
Which is a honestly pretty reasonable assessment.
It's probably one of the times when the publicity vehicle for Heritage Railways actually overrides it being a story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
But
this
again,
is-
I don't think that's a bad thing.
yeah, it's not a bad thing. It is definitely one of the most transparent cross-sells that Audrey has done, at least up to this point. And there will be more, such as in Stepney or in Very Old Engines.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, like you said, this is perfectly fine, especially because, unlike in Stepney, it does not bring the book's pacing to a screeching halt.
Yes.
Something else about this is that Skarloey's story here is phrased in such a way that, like, kinda sorta conflicts with what we later learn, which is that Talyllyn, Dolgoth, Skarloey, and Renius were all built at the same time and knew each other then. Like, there's room in this wording that leaves that retcon an opening, such as the workmen were surprised to see that they were twins and such. But
Yeah.
it's interesting that at this stage, Audrey may not have thought of them as spending time together at Whitehaven.
I think that's a fair enough assumption from him, but also it's... You know, I think, yeah, there's enough wiggle room where you can easily go, yes, they knew each other. In the grand scheme of things, 95 years since they've seen each other, I think it's probably fair enough that, until they met each other again, they probably just had in the back of the mind, like, occasionally, I wonder what happened to that other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Skarloey probably never mentioned it because, as far as they're concerned, they could have gone.
Yeah.
Who knows? But they meet each other again, and suddenly it's like, oh my god, you're still here. And it's obviously like the stuff like Talyllyn told me about his railway, which is something they wouldn't have obviously known about 95 years ago. I think it does. It fits nicely, and I think he was very lucky with the wording he used.
Yes.
Yeah.
For what he wanted to do later.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Very Old Engines. That is my favourite book, but I am
It's so good.
I am very biased.
Yeah, but like it's the best one.
Please have me back for... If you're going to have me back for any, please have me back for that one.
Oh yeah.
We'd love to have you on for, like, all the Skarloey ones, if we can swing it, but,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll figure it out. So, like, guessing the big reason this was never considered for TV is because the cross-sell is the conclusion of the entire story. And, like, personally, I think an easy fix for it would have been to just, like, have Skarloey talk about Renius, and how he's the same age, but is being away mended right now. But, like, maybe they were just afraid of recontextualizing a story that much, or maybe they already felt they had enough Skarloey stories to adapt that season and didn't care enough to work around this one's ending. Who knows?
Because were there any other Skarloey stories that went unadapted? Or was it just this one? Other than, obviously, Very Old Engines.
Yeah, this Very Old Engines and the Chris stories were left untouched. This is the only one out of, like, the pre-Very Old Engines that was left untouched.
It probably is because of the ending, which is a shame. Because I know Brit had this very... personally very odd view of, no, we can't have the outside world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like,
kinda
the big
thing.
city far away.
Yeah, and like, even were with the way bloody Bluebells of England was changed around and Rusty goes and rescues Stepney, like, the fact that it's the other part of the island where the Diesels live, it's not even the other railway.
They do call it the other railway in that story, but they don't call it that in Escape.
Sorry, that I can't remember. Yeah,
It's okay.
Trying to get my
It's
wires
hard to
mixed
keep
up.
it straight.
But there's such a weird thing around the outside world, and that's probably part of why they went no. And again, it's like with the whole retconning of Stepney as well. It's to avoid talking about these real places, completely ignoring why they were mentioned in the first place.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like, I can understand where they came from to an extent. Because, sometimes it is hard to write around. But, like, I don't know. I just think this is neat.
I
I
just
love
think
it.
they're neat.
I love it in the books, and
Yeah.
I wish it was in the TV show.
Yeah.
And it's probably a very selfish reason of it would have done the railway no end of good. Because there's so many people who know the TV show but not the books. and it's
Yeah,
only really since 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, with the 70th, not the 70th, sorry, yeah, about 10 years ago, that the books as a thing has entered, like, not even public consciousness more, but just like fandom consciousness.
Yeah.
Because I've been around long enough to remember when a lot of people didn't know what the Railway series was if you weren't from, like, the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, that was very much a thing. And it still is to a degree with some fans, but, like, that's because you grow up with what you grow up with.
Yeah.
And I do wish that the TR was mentioned in the TV show. I wish the Bluebell was mentioned in the TV show, you know.
Yeah. You know, like, especially, I think it would have been a lot of fun to have, you know, little, like, TV versions of Talyllyn and Dolgoch pop up. Like, having them available as characters in the show might be fun, you know? Like, oh, they're visiting.
So my favourite, I think, fan adaptation I've seen is Sudbury Station Masters.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
About a year
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
Because of just this ending.
Yeah, just like the singular shot of Talyllyn.
I think
Yeah.
it's like 2 shots, I think, but it's the music, which obviously is going to, like, gut punch me because it's heart of gold. But it just gives a glimpse of, they could have done a quick repaint. You know, it's no different to Smudger.
Yeah.
Come on,
They could have smudged him, you know?
If you can fucking do Smudger.
But Smudger does not exist.
Exactly. Talyllyn does. You should visit him. Oh, on such an odd note, I find it interesting, and I don't know if it is, like, it is definitely a product of its time, with Talyllyn and Dolgoch in these books being referred to as he, using he/him pronouns, and given how much of a TR man the Rev was, I am very surprised that they don't use she/her. Because, like, Talyllyn and Dolgoch are known as the old ladies. You know, Dolgoch is the old lady, and it's always he/him in the books. And I don't know if it's because, like, in his mind, his established kind of world thing, you know, very outdated, but of its time. You know, the engines are this and the carriages are that. And I don't know if it was to be consistent with the rest of the books or what. But I really find it interesting that he didn't stick with what the engineman at the TR called. If you've got to do anything for my own headcanons, where I will change that in the Railway series, it would be that. That's one thing I think I would change in the Railway series is Talyllyn and Dolgoch using she/her pronouns.
I would change a lot of engines pronouns if I could go in and retcon but, like, you know, but, like, especially like when talking about the real locomotives, it would make so much more sense to just go she/her. Like,
but also,
awesome.
Again, this is the thing I was saying about, like, Audrey's mind works in a very interesting way, whereas the books...
Undiagnosed autistic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
The books are very much the fictional engines, whereas when he's writing the history, that's the real, in big quotation marks, the real engines, because, like, it's in, like, the lecture where Scarlo's referred to with she/her pronouns. It's on the back of one of his photographs he took of Thomas on Farquhar Mark 1, and the caption is, "And she's away." And there's this distinction in Audrey's mind between the engines in the books and the real engines, and the real engines don't have faces, are not alive, and are she/her pronouns because they are the real engines. And so it's such an interesting thing that the fictionalized versions are male in his mind, but in his railway brain, it's the traditional railwayman's thing of no, the women, and it's so strange.
There's like 3 different canons for the Railway series.
Oh, it's mad.
Yeah. I believe this is the first time we hear somebody say dry rails and good running, which I really like. Like,
Yeah,
that's a
it's
cute thing to
cute.
wish for a train.
It's really sweet.
It's the perfect conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit like it's a bit like smooth sailing.
You know what's worse than wet rails?
What's
Well,
that?
yeah. See, dry rails are great. Completely wet rails, still slippy, but better. The worst thing, rails after it's just lightly rained and it's all dappled with little droplets. Because that you're more likely to slip on that than a completely wet rail, because a completely wet rail's consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Random droplets on a
little
rail,
droplets.
because your contact area between a wheel and the rail, it's a pinpoint. It's not, because the wheel's around, there's no flat edge. It's a pinpoint contact between rail and wheel. So if a little droplet just suddenly appears, it can go, you slip way more on lightly dropleted rails than a fully wet rail. Which is a fun little tidbit. I don't know what I've got onto there. Just someone mentioned, dry rails.
Yeah. No, that's fascinating.
Yes, because for the opposite, you wouldn't wish them wet rails, you wish them lightly dropleted rails, you cunt.
Yeah, exactly.
Lightly dropleted rails and lots of slipping.
Fuck you, die. Lots of slipping. I hope that there is nothing in the future for you except going.
Exactly. Very good.
There's this video I saw a while back. I'll need to dig for it. Of I think it's a standard 4 tender engine slipping on an incline, and it's like, and there's just comments on that video going like, "Oh, they did a shit job driving that one." To be honest, the fireman already ran out of sand by that point. What the fuck are we doing, man? And just people backseating these loco crews from fucking like 60, 70 years ago.
Oh.
I really love real engines.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool.
Like, it's a
they're
cop-out
pretty,
to
they're
say.
pretty, they're pretty tangible.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are very tangible. I could go see them, unlike my Thomas the Train NFTs.
And Scarloey is not real.
Scarloey is not
Scarloey's-
real. You can only see him in these books.
Scarloey is not real. You can only see him after drinking 3 liters of the syrup that they put
petrol.
into yeah, sure, petrol. You can only see him after drinking 3 liters of petrol.
I don't know why that came to me.
Mildly dropped rails and petrol down
If
your
you-
fucking throat.
If you drink the syrup that they pour into water to make Mountain Dew,
Petrol.
just drink nothing. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Petrol. If you drink
Yeah, that's-
3
that's
liters
petrol.
of that, you will see him.
If you drink the syrup they
You
pour
see the
into
habit.
water to make petrol.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Scarloey is not real. You can only see him in these books. Get real. Did I bring that up actually? Like when we
Probably.
started this book, the David Lynch talking about watching a movie on your phone thing.
I'm sure we
maybe.
had the get real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely would have happened.
Yeah.
Which it's very sobering to think that when we started recording this book, David Lynch and Britt Alcroft were still alive,
Yeah.
Oh.
and now they're both not. Which is,
It's upsetting.
well, yeah, like I said, it's very sobering to think about that. But you know what? Let's do the rankings now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to rankings.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Please wrap it up.
Okay. So for the story, it's a cute ending for the book, but there is an extent to which it kind of feels like it just kind of ends.
Happens?
It's just kind of a list of things that happens, which is a shame because this is a fun premise, and there's a lot of great character moments in the front half, but I feel like on the whole, it once we establish, okay, this thing is happening, it just kind of happens, and then we learn about Skarloey's twin, and then it's just kind of over.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a bad story at all. I just think it has a hard time measuring up to Trucks and Rock and Roll. I'd say either like a Duck or a Toby is where I'd rank it. I'm erring more on the side of Toby, so probably that. What do y'all think?
I'll give it a Duck.
Honestly,
I don't give a Duck. I'll give it a fuck.
Honestly, I would say out of all of the Skarloey Railway stories we've gotten to so far, this is my least favourite. It's not bad. It's just my least favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talyllyn mentioned Douglas. No.
Yeah, it's big.
No, like the Talyllyn mention aside, which does make it a very like story for me. Probably a Duck, and the Talyllyn mention's doing a lot of lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, my initial thought was Percy, but that feels too mean, so I'm going to say Toby.
Too Toby, too Duck.
Again, it's not bad. It's just the weakest Skarloey story yet.
I think especially in this book as well.
Yeah.
Where like they are all pretty much bangers.
Yeah.
And Little Old Twins. There's a lot to like about Little Old Twins, but the rest are so good in comparison that it does fall a little flat. But it is
It's
a very
the little sibling that doesn't quite.
It's a very sweet story.
Yeah.
Listen, the book that introduced Rusty and Duncan deserved a better ending.
I guess.
Like,
I suppose.
those two are such strong characters, and I just wish... Again, this isn't bad, I just wish they got something stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite reasonable to think.
Yeah. I will say, though, I wonder if maybe the reason this finale isn't quite so definitive is because now that we've established the president that we are capable of coming back to this location, he's not trying to go for, like, a sort of closed-off ending like he did in Four Little Engines, where he kind of established that, Sir Handel became a good boy, and then when he had to come back, he had to kind of undo that. He's leaving the door open for himself, as opposed to trying to, like, give it a big old grand finale.
Yeah, because I think you've got to remember, like, when Four Little Engines came out, it was a bit of a fight to get that book as it was, so he was like, we might never revisit this, I'm going to tie that. And you got to remember that literally 2 books later, 8 Famous Engines, he was going to call it that.
Yeah.
That was going to be the finale. That was going to be the end.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Marriott. Thank you, Mr. Marriott, for wanting a diesel.
Yeah. Diesel truly saved the day. But I feel like maybe that might be why we're getting this feeling off of it. Why it doesn't feel
Save the day.
like as grand a finale, because it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be a finale, but it's still
Just another.
yeah
Just another little story.
yeah we'll be back. I think we should rank the book now because we've read all the stories in the book,
Yeah,
so
should
we should rank the book.
We should
So
crank the hog now.
I think this is definitely my favorite Skarloey Railway book. Like, it's hard to say, because I think on an objective level, Gallant Old Engines is probably more stacked in terms of quality of story, and also Very Old Engines, also very good. And then Duke's the Lost Engine. It pretty much, like, gets better and better. Like, in terms of, like, objective quality-wise, writing a story, I think.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of emotional attachment to this book for defining how I feel about the Skarloey Railway, and for enticing me to read more of the original books. And it's got beautiful illustrations, fun stories, and it introduces 2 of the best Skarloey Railway characters. So, like, I don't think I can bring myself lower than a Douglas for this.
Yeah. I would have to Douglas this one too, to be honest, because that. Essentially, it's a bit of a revamp of Four Little Engines in some ways.
Honestly, this is the thing. I may not be in love with the final story, but it's still good, and the rest of the book is so solid. I would also probably say Douglas.
Yeah. What say you, Luke?
See, my brain had slightly switched off, so when you were saying Douglas, I was going, a 6? Why a 6? Thinking of Tower of Flame Douglas. No.
No. Talking about me.
Not today. Not today.
So, yeah, no, I it's a very good book.
Last night I cursed Douglas, your sister.
It introduces two of the very iconic, not really iconic cast of the Scarlet Engines, but Duncan and Rusty are firm favourites, and it's just fun. So I think I don't. I was thinking I might do like a Donald, but no, Douglas, Dougie.
Oh, yeah. Dougie,
good old Dougie.
Because it's fucking good, but I'm incredibly biased. Incredibly biased.
It's okay to be
couldn't
biased.
Possibly imagine why.
Yeah, couldn't imagine.
Listen, I've already decided that whether or not I'm allowed to or not, I'm ranking Train Stops Play and Oliver, so...
Yeah. Because as you should, it is one of the best stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of Douglas, though, next time on the Rayleigh Series Book Club, we will be taking a look at the first story in The Twin Engines, which I'm very excited for, because that's another one of my favorite books.
Yes! Yes!
And of course, before we go, we should thank our wonderful guest for these stories, Luke Ryan. Thank you for joining us for this book.
Thank you for having me. It's been very fun.
Yeah.
It's
been great to have you.
A bit different to what I usually do when it comes to the books and stuff. So it's actually been nice to sit down, read it again, and discuss.
Yeah.
I hope I've shed some light on some interesting tidbits and facts. About the real thing and what inspired some of the stories and things in them.
Yeah, I'd say you have.
You have indeed.
I mean, I would definitely say you are the best person we could have had as a guest for a Scarlet Railway book.
Definitely. And I hope maybe we'll get to bring you back in for the next time round. Who knows?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
Now, we need to find your alter ego, Rook Lion, so that we can have him for the Arsdale book.
But anyway, I think that's all for today's episode. Thank you all for listening to the Rayleigh Series Book Club. We will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
You won't see me next time.
It won't take us months this time.
Yeah,
goodbye.
If it takes this long again, I'm going to become a white hot ball of burning rage.
She's going to become white.
You won't see me next time.
White.
I'm going to go get locked in the cupboard again. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Have fun. Bye. All right.